Hi, and welcome again to another edition of Ask the Barnes Brothers. I'm Matt Barnes with B&B Automotive Services, where we treat you like family. Question we got asked for the day. Question they asked me is, do I really have to change my oil every 3,000 miles? You know, that's an interesting question. There's lots of different ideas out there. We've got lights that tell us when to change the oil. We've got a lot of things out there. We've got synthetic oils. Is my oil really bad? I don't need to change it because it says it's only 15%. Well, we thought we would do a little research. Thanks to the guys out at BG Products that loaned us their friction machine. So let's move on to the shop and see what we can do. Done on a regular 3,000 mile oil change. Locked up at about 15 foot-pounds. So 15 foot-pounds, conventional motor oil with about 3,000 miles on it. Pretty good looking stuff. Okay, this is a friction test. Friction test on a conventional motor oil with 5,000 miles on the oil. We're going to see what happens here. Alright, 5,000 miles. That is about, let's do that again. I want to say it was really close to the same. You can hear the noise. Yeah. You can hear the noise, and when it finally locks up, it's just below 15. So it's honestly not that much difference between the 3 and the 5. That's interesting. That's not what I expected, actually. We're going to start out with a synthetic oil change that came in. It was actually below mileage at 4,000 miles. Okay. So this is 4,000 miles. On a synthetic. Wow, okay. That's making it to about 20. So we're getting to about 20 there. So it does seem to be, the synthetic does seem to be better. Let's try the next one. Alright, this is 6,000 miles on synthetic. So this should get, we're again trying to see what kind of friction protection you have. Okay. That was about 18. So there's a significant drop from 4 to 6. This will be our last sample here. It's going to be a synthetic with 12,000 miles on it, believe it or not. Which, by the way, regardless of this test, I wouldn't recommend. That is pretty amazing. Because it locked up the very first time at about 35. In this test, I'm going to try out some just plain Jane, a Napa synthetic, and just see what kind of test that gives us, what kind of feedback that gives us here. And then I'll try a name brand. Maybe that'll give us some idea of what the differences are there. Oh, wow. Finally locked up at 65. That is pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Okay, we're going to try another test with a name brand synthetic. This is I had to go get it out of my bulk drum because I buy this in by 100 gallons at a time. But this is actually Mobile, which seems to be like the one everybody always heard of, synthetic. We'll see how it holds up to Napa's synthetic. What is pretty amazing is all the tests were in the, with the exception of that long one, took for a while, but the new oil definitely way outperformed the old oil. So that in itself tells me that there is a lot of merit toward changing your oil, and obviously probably, I guess, the more often probably the better in that aspect, because that stuff right there a minute ago we couldn't hardly get it to lock up. So let's see, we'll try Mobile here. Mobile synthetic. Oh, Lord. Oh gosh, it will not lock up. Not with this. I'd have to get a cheater pipe, so it will not lock up with the Mobile. And that goes all. This is a 75-pound torque wrench, so I'm going up to 75 pounds. The Napa did lock up the one time, I think it was at 65. I'll have to review the tape to remember that, because honestly I don't remember offhand. But that there is pretty darn amazing for considering we were getting it to lock up before. Okay, this is going to be the last test for now. Excuse the noise, but we're actually working. This is actually brand new conventional oil. This is our bulk oil. It's made by Mobile. It's a non-synthetic. Would be what you'd call a standard oil change. Ironically, I can't get it to lock up either, so up there it went. Locked up as it topped out, which is about 75 foot-pounds. All right, a quick summary real quick. I'm going to use my cheat sheet, so hopefully I get it right. New oil definitely outdid the used oil by quite a bit, significant numbers there. There are differences in the different oils between synthetics and conventionals. Synthetics do definitely outdo the conventionals, but the gap's not so wide at new. It tends to be more so as they age and get miles on them. Driving habits make a huge difference. Something that wasn't shown out there, the high mileage synthetic with the 12,000 miles was a Volvo that they travel in all the time. So they spend a lot of time on the highway. I always hear highway mileage is better. The low mileage synthetic is an in-town driver, drives in town all the time. It was in a Camaro, never leaves town. So it's basically go to work, turn around, come back home about 3 miles a day. It takes forever. The oils never get hot. So driving habits make a difference, and highways driving is better. So my suggestion at this point is, if the manufacturer recommends synthetic, go with synthetic. If it's not synthetic, I don't see a huge difference in the way they protect, as long as you do it within a reasonable amount of miles. Appreciate you guys putting up with me, listening to my stuff. Like us on Facebook, give us a thumbs up. B&B Automotive Services, where we treat you like family.